There's a terrifying rule in Marvel physics that explains why Avengers Doomsday is going to be a complete bloodbath. In Marvel lore, when two parallel universes start drifting too close, they trigger something called an incursion. An incursion means two Earths occupy the exact same spatial point. When they touch, both entire universes are instantly erased from existence. The only way to save your universe is to destroy the other Earth before it hits yours. In Doomsday, Earth 616, the Fantastic Four's world, and the X-Men universe are all on a collision course. That means the heroes aren't just fighting Dr. Doom. They're forced to commit interdimensional genocide just to survive. Which Marvel universe do you think gets destroyed first? Drop your predictions below.
Dr. Doom wearing Tony Stark's face isn't just an MCU casting gimmick. It's a terrifying Marvel reality. In the comics, a classic storyline called Demon in an Armor proves these two geniuses are intrinsically linked. Victor Von Doom builds a device that swaps minds with Tony Stark, stealing his face, his wealth, and his legacy, while leaving Tony stranded in Latveria as Dr. Doom. In Avengers, Doomsday, Marvel is tapping into this exact multiverse nightmare. Instead of a random stranger, the Avengers are forced to fight a variant of Tony Stark who chose dark magic over heroism, becoming the ruthless monarch Victor Von Doom. So, when Earth's mightiest heroes look into the eyes of their greatest villain, they see the face of the man who died to save them. Which is why...
Do you know the real price for Aunt May's life? It wasn't a hero's help. It was a deal with the devil that cost Peter everything. When Aunt May was shot, Peter Parker was desperate. He went to the smartest minds on Earth, Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, even Dr. Doom, begging for a miracle. They all failed him. That's when Mephisto, the literal Marvel devil, stepped out of the shadows. He offered a cure, but the price wasn't Peter's soul. It was his marriage to Mary Jane. Peter and Mary Jane had to erase their entire life together. Their love, their history, even the future child they would have had, all of it vanished from existence to keep May alive. It wasn't just a sacrifice. It was a cosmic reset that rewrote reality itself. The tragedy isn't that Peter lost his marriage. It's that he chose to trade his future for his past, proving that even a hero can be broken by grief. Was saving Aunt May worth erasing his own happiness? Or did Peter make the biggest mistake in Marvel history? Let me know your take in the comments. Jean Grey can overpower some of the strongest minds in Marvel, but Spider-Man can actually sense her getting inside his head. Jean is one of Marvel's most powerful telepaths. She can read minds, manipulate thoughts, and completely overwhelm people mentally. But Peter Parker has something most heroes don't: his spider sense. And spider sense doesn't just warn Peter about punches, bullets, or falling buildings. It can also alert him when something is threatening his mind. So when a telepath like Jean tries to get inside his head, Peter can realize something is wrong before she fully takes control. That doesn't make Spider-Man immune to telepathy. Jean can still enter his mind. But spider sense gives Peter something incredibly valuable: a warning. And once Peter knows he's being attacked, his ridiculous willpower kicks in. This is a guy who spent his entire life fighting through pain, guilt, fear, and loss, and still refuses to stay down. So Jean isn't just trying to control Peter, she's fighting a danger sense that can expose the attack, and one of the most stubborn minds in Marvel. That's what makes Spider-Man such a weird matchup for telepaths. He doesn't necessarily block them. He knows they're there. So could Spider-Man actually resist Jean Grey at full power? Or would Jean break through? Let me know in the comments.
Dr. Doom's face might not be as horribly disfigured as you think, and somehow that makes his mask even more disturbing. Most people assume Victor Von Doom hides his face because an experiment completely destroyed it. But in one of his most famous origins, the explosion only left him with a single scar. The problem was Doom's ego. Victor was so obsessed with perfection that even one tiny scar made his face unacceptable to him. So he created the metal mask we all recognize today. But Doom didn't wait for it to cool. The mask was still red hot from the forge, and Victor pressed it directly onto his face, burning and permanently disfiguring himself far worse than the original accident ever did. Meaning Dr. Doom may have spent his entire life hiding injuries that he gave himself, all because Victor Von Doom would rather destroy his own face than accept that he wasn't perfect. And that's why Doom's mask is much darker than it looks.
Marvel Comics actually printed the N-word more than once. But surprisingly, that isn't the worst part of Marvel's history. In Fantastic Four, the word appeared during a storyline about racial hatred, and Kitty Pryde used it in X-Men while comparing anti-mutant prejudice to racism. But both stories were actually condemning racism. Marvel's older comics, though, that's where things get uncomfortable. In 1941, Marvel's predecessor had a black superhero sidekick literally named Whitewash Jones, and the artwork was just as bad as the name. Then in 1956, they introduced a Chinese supervillain called Yellow Claw. Even Iron Man's Mandarin originally drew heavily from the old evil Asian mastermind stereotype. But the craziest one? Shang-Chi's father wasn't originally Wenwu. He was literally
Fu Manchu.
Marvel eventually rewrote much of this history, but some of their old comics are very different reads today.